Corla, and thank you for the opportunity to respond back to the different points that deputies have made here this evening. I want to begin by acknowledging that a wide variety of different questions have been put to me, and in my response back I want to talk about, give the best answer I can to many of those questions. Secondly, again, I want to emphasise my apology for what has happened and my awareness of the issues that this can raise regarding integrity in public life and issues that really matter to me. And then thirdly, I want to respond back to the issues that have been raised regarding my role and as Minister for Public Expenditure with regard to SIPO. And then fourthly, in the time ahead, how the work of my department will continue. So many different questions have been raised here this evening that are very detailed regarding how many posters were put up, at what cost, and at what time. And Count Corla, I have done my best to provide the information that I can for an election that happened nearly 7 years ago. But I want to reiterate my acknowledgement of my apology and recognition for the mistake that I made. What I should have done, both at election time and in the aftermath of the election, that when I became aware of payment being made to the individuals who were involved in postering, and when I became aware of the use of a commercial van, I should have reviewed and renewed my electoral submission. That is my responsibility. I should have taken that action when I became aware of an allegation in 2017, and when I became aware then of the questions that came into me at the end of last year. The mistake that I made, that I take responsibility for, was that due to my understanding at that time that those individuals had not been paid for by my campaign organisation, and my lack of awareness that they had been paid at all, for those reasons, at no point did I feel there was a need to review the submission that I had made to SIPO. I got that wrong, and I apologise for getting that wrong. I should have recognised that. In the context of what was a very difficult and very complex election campaign, I should have been more aware of all that was underway during that campaign, and I should have, in the years that have elapsed since then, taken action to review my electoral submission. Secondly, what I want to emphasise.
Please. No, Minister, will you resume your seat? I will suspend the House. Deputy Murphy, if you don't allow the Minister the courtesy of a response, nobody interrupted you or anybody else. If you don't, excuse me, if you don't, do you want me to suspend the House and we'll hear no more? Do you want me to suspend the House? No. Well then, hold your wish, please. Minister.
I want to reiterate my recognition that because I did not know that payment had been made to those individuals, due to that, I did not review my election submission form. That was my mistake. I accept responsibility for it, and I want to reiterate my apology again for it. But many other questions have been put here to me this evening beyond that on real points of detail, which I have done my best to answer in the submission that has now been provided to SIPO. And it is now up to them to engage in this, and I will engage with them, in a full way on any matters that they want to raise with me. And the suggestion has been made here this evening that I am in some way making light of what has happened, or I'm in some way looking to dismiss it or be evasive in relation to it. Far from it, Count Corla. I recognise the seriousness of what has happened here. I've offered my apology for what has happened and my explanation, but there are many issues of detail that sit to SIPO to form an evaluation on. And it is to them that I am accountable in relation to it, in relation to this electoral act. And I want to just,
No, please. You are not going to, excuse me, you are not going to shout down the House. So please, behave with a bit of patience and a bit of decorum. Please, please, please.
Seriously, Councillor.
Please,
5 minutes,
please.
single question answer. 5 minutes.
You're wasting the time.
He is wasting the time, Councillor.
I am emphasising my recognition of what has happened here and reiterating my apology for it. But there's a whole set of very, very detailed questions that have been put to me by deputies here this evening about events that happened a number of years ago, the answers of which I have put forward in my submission back to SIPO. I've laid out how many hours. I've laid out how many hours the activity happened for. I've laid out the cost that we have inferred to us, and I've laid out very, very clearly the money that I understand was made available to those individuals, and it is all laid out in my response back. And in terms of dealing with this issue, as we move forward, I want to make clear that there is a recusement that is now underway. I will be answering questions in the House tomorrow on behalf of the Department of Public Expenditure and Reform, and the recusement with regard to Minister McGrath will be taking effect shortly.
Thank you, Minister. That concludes this debate. Please, Deputy. Please, Deputy. I will suspend. Do I have to suspend the House? Do I have to suspend the House?
This is utter embarrassment.
You want me to suspend the House? You want me to suspend the House?
Answered one question, Councillor. Do you believe one question was answered there?